All right, so in a weird twist of events, I'm actually quite excited about today. And the reason that it's kind of a weird twist of events is because the app got rejected from the App Store, and we have like real problems here. But honestly, the first thing I thought when reading it was like, fuck you guys, this sucks. And it's like, I mean, one of the things that they've written here is, where was it? Okay. Portions of your app or resources needed to use your app loaded, refreshed, ran, or responded very slowly. For example, when we tried to start a connection, it took 40 minutes. I don't know how it could have taken 40 minutes if they had two devices. But what I'm assuming is that they waited 40 minutes and then they stopped waiting. Because if they waited 40 minutes, then they waited a really long time. And that means that they don't really understand what the app even is, I think, because they started a connection, but they don't realize that, well, to get a connection to work, there needs to be another person there. So I was like, well, obviously that's not going to work. You're not going to get a connection with someone when you are the only user. Now, they might have had two users, I don't know, but it's never taken me 40 minutes. So there is no way that I know of, unless it's a bug that just was introduced when they used the app. There's no way I'm aware of where it would take 40 minutes, or I've never encountered it, so I'm going to assume that they waited 40 minutes and then stopped waiting because they were like, oh, this is taking forever. But the really devastating part here, and the real problem, is this: design spam is what we got. So your app primarily includes dating features that duplicate the content and functionality of similar apps in a saturated category. These app features may be useful, informative, entertaining, and your app may include features or characteristics that distinguish it. However, there are already enough of these apps on the App Store. We encourage you to reconsider your app concept and submit a new app that provides a unique experience not already found on the App Store. Now, I actually got a DM on Instagram with someone saying that this is what they got stuck with and they couldn't really get past it. So I'm genuinely scared about that problem. But something that I've realized quite recently is that my mind needs a problem to solve. Like that's how my mind works. I just need a problem to solve and I need something to focus on, and if I don't have it, I will find one and my brain will focus on it and it will try to solve it. So lately, for the past like month, I think, maybe, whenever it was that we started trying to do the beta testing and all that stuff, I haven't really had a real problem to work on in the app. It's just been like small things, I feel like. This is a real problem. This is a head scratcher of an issue. I still, I have strategies, ideas for how to approach this and how to get past it, and I think that we can get past it. And I also try to remind myself of the Marcus Aurelius quote, which is, "The obstacle is the way." So this is the obstacle that we have. This is the main obstacle. All of this other stuff, this was like easy things. It's not super easy, but it's at least stuff that I know how to fix this. Or I have good ideas how to fix it. This thing, I don't really know if we can even get past, with the best fix in the world, I don't know if we can get past this, or if we're gonna have to retort to, I think we can get past it. It has to be possible to get past it. some way. That's why, like, when I say that I don't know if we can get past it, I don't even believe myself when I say it, because I feel like there has to be a way. I mean, dating apps do come out on the App Store, so there has to be a way. I don't know how they do it, but there has to be a way to make this work, even if it is. The thing is, like, the obvious answer to that is to just like be like, oh, it's not a dating app, it's an app to get friends, and you just pretend like it's for making friends, and that's fine, and that might work, but I don't think that will work. That's my initial thought. It's like, if it was that simple to fix this, then I don't think they would have bothered with saying that it was spam, because then people would just do that and get it approved. So the real question is my design actually different enough to be approved? And I have an advantage, which is, or I believe myself to have an advantage here, which is that I've filmed and documented the whole process, so I can link to my YouTube channel with 100 videos trying to build this app. But what I also want to do is I'm going to film an explanatory video of the app. That's going to be like 60 seconds, a really short explanation of the app, that I'm going to link in the next submission that I do, so that I can explain, like, this is what the concept is, and this is how it's supposed to work. Yeah. And I think that, or I have some hope at least, that if there's a video of me explaining, like, this is what the app is, this is the plan for it, then maybe, but I highly doubt that will be enough, but it's at least like a little seed of hope. And that's going to be the first thing that we'll do. And then we're just going to keep going with this until we get it approved. At some point, it has to be approved, I feel like. That might not be a true statement, but I feel like it has to be approved at some point, because there are dating apps that do come out on the App Store. So the question is just, how did they get approved? Because I don't feel like they are different enough to have passed this test. Like, I feel like my app is more different than theirs, but I don't know. So, but that is this is going to be like a little bit of a later issue, because I'm going to try to get all of the bugs fixed. And then once we get the bugs fixed, then we can, once we have nothing to fix in terms of bugs, then we can try to really nail down or hammer down, or, like, I don't know, focus on how to deal with this. So actually, what I would like to do here, I'm going to ask ChatGPT just to see what it says if I copy this. I just realized that I'm explaining the whole app concept, but the whole app concept is also, if they didn't get into a phone call, they never even did the app concept, if that makes sense. So they, like, for them, they have no idea. I guess they assumed that you start the connection and then you get to, I don't know, swipe through people. I don't know what they could have thought, but they obviously, whatever they thought, they didn't get to experience it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, or it makes sense that they would think that, okay, it's just another dating app. We're going to remove it. We suggest that you do something different. It might not even be a real complaint at this point. It might just be based on, okay, it's a dating app. That's the category, or that's the type of app that he's created. So that's spam straight away. That might just be one of the standardized things. And that's obviously where I hope that my video can help, but I'm going to see here what happens. If that's a really good and very common question. Okay, they actually suggest appealing with a video demo. So I believe, like, based on what I'm imagining here, it feels like unless they have just a strict ban on like any dating apps, unless you have already, like, let's say that you have it released on Google. This is what I'm thinking. Well, this is what I'm sort of considering a little bit, is that what if maybe other dating apps that got rejected from Google, from App Store, started publishing, they published it on Google Play instead and got users there, or they got it on the web and they got some users there, and then based on the fact that they had users or like money from investors or whatever, they could appeal in a different way maybe. But that is also a possibility, and that is also something that we could do. I mean, we could just publish it on Google Play, try to get users, make something happen, and then appeal to the App Store. But this, I mean, this is pretty, to me, my hope is high, and it's a good problem to solve, I feel like, because it's a real problem. And it's a hard one. But let's go through the other problems that they found, because obviously they found bugs. The app exhibited one or more bugs that would negatively impact users. Bug description: when signing up for a new account, the user does not receive the OTP to gain access to the app. Okay. So something happened here that they didn't get a one-time blah blah blah. My theory behind this is that there's a bug in the number. Actually, we can probably check this, I realize. In the logs. So sessions, users, we did get a new user. Okay, I realized I cannot show this. How come they didn't get a message though? Okay, it's strange, like it works for me, so why did it not work for them? Okay, I don't understand really what's going on. I don't want a trial number. I want a real number. Jesus Christ. To convert a Twilio trial number to a real one, you must upgrade your trial account to a paid account by adding a credit card. Okay, I guess we have to upgrade. Okay, I've bought a new phone number on Twilio because you apparently had to sign up using, or like you had to have like some sort of billing account. Obviously, I mean, that makes sense. Maybe you didn't have to actually. I realized that you could convert a trial phone number into a real number somehow, or you could buy a number. I don't know. It was supposed to be possible, but I'm not sure if it was, and it probably makes sense to have a proper account. But now I'm going to try signing up using my personal phone number and just see which, first of all, if I do get a code, but then also which number do I get it from? Plus, okay. So I still get it from the same number as before, and that's not supposed to be the case. Okay, we're gonna try it again. Error sending confirmation notification. The request resource. Okay, now I actually got it from the new number. And it says, here you go, Quora code, blah, blah, blah. All right. That's actually good. Now we have a proper service, hopefully. And everything should work. So this now I'm hoping is fixed. What I thought, first of all, when I saw that this message here, is I thought that they had used or typed in the number wrong. But then when I looked at the back end and I saw their number, I could see that, okay, they haven't typed it in wrong. It's just that it didn't register properly. So we're going to delete them as a user. so that they don't accidentally have anything. And the next thing that we kind of need to do, I think, is we need to figure out here. We notice an issue in your app that contributes to lower quality portions of your app or resources needed, blah, 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 to use your app. Loaded, refreshed, or ran or responded very slowly. For example, when we tried to start a connection, it took 40 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that that's like the main thing that they found, and if it's not the main thing, then they will let me know about the other things. But this problem relates to the fact that they were the only user online, so obviously they don't get connected with anyone. Makes sense to me. But how do we fix this? And the way to fix it, I think, is we need to make sure that we have a user that is available for a phone call. And so we have to like sort of simulate that there is a user there when there actually isn't a user there. And the way that I would have liked to do this is I would have liked to be there when they test it so that I can be the user that they can talk to. But the problem is just that I don't really know how to test this. And I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to see what it would suggest. I'm gonna just do a new chat. So I am trying to get my app approved on store. So I guess one option here is that we could generate, like, let's say 10 other, I'm going to assume that this is a guy that did the test. If not, we can add in the notes that make sure that you set your gender as a man and that you're interested in women, because then we can create 10 like fake profiles of women that are in the waiting queue, so they're waiting to get connected. And once he downloads the app, creates an account, and starts trying to connect with people, he will get connected to users. If that makes sense. The only problem is he won't have any matches, obviously, because, I don't know. Okay, so it might be more complicated than I thought this, but reading this also gives me a little bit of hope for the fact that we could make things a little bit more clear. I think the app looks good design-wise. I think it works good. The responsiveness, I don't really think there's anything too bad about it, unless there's bugs that I don't know about, and that could be possible. But if there's no bugs that I don't know about, then the actual flow of the app and speed of it seems to me to be absolutely fine. So that means that we might need to add a new layer on top of this. And the layer that might need to be added is like a demo of the app, which is something that's kind of reasonable to have anyway. Because a lot of apps, when you log in, you get like little explanations of like, press this button to go here, and then press this button to go here. You want to try this thing. So what we could do is we could pre-record voice notes. So things like, I would then say, hello, welcome to Quora, and this is a demo call. Try saying something. That could be like the first voice thing that comes up once you're connected to this like bot or test person. And then what would happen is I will and then you could have something where you basically detect voice from the other person. So as soon as there's voice input on the other end, then we don't play any more of my voice notes, the pre-recorded ones, and we wait until that goes quiet. And once it goes quiet for like a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, something like that, then my voice plays back with more explanations of like, you can either press the like button here, or you can press the next button here to skip to the next person if you don't want to talk to me anymore. You can also press the leave button. You can report me if you feel like this guy is not a nice person. All of this stuff I think you could sort of add. I don't know how they typically add that, if they do it via like video or whether it is, because there's usually animations within apps like this, but yeah, I don't know how we're going to do that. It's going to be quite difficult. Because we don't want to do a voice, or we don't want to, I'm going to assume that we don't want to have video all of a sudden play in the app, because that's not going to look very good. So you probably want everything to be like animated, and like when I say that, and then this button is pressed, the like button, and then we do the like button thing, like, I don't know. I like this, like, don't get me wrong. So like, I'm getting exhausted by just the thought of like all the stuff that we might have to do about this. But I like it because it just adds to the whole app experience. I think it's going to make it a lot better. But it's also one of those things where it's like, this is a demo of the app. So how do we even, like, how do I test this? Or how do I get them to be able to test it? Because should we really? The thing that I'm sort of like extrapolating in my head is that this might take, let's say, 2 weeks of work to get a demo of the app to work. And then the question is like, this is an MVP of the app. So this is not the full-fledged product. Like, there's so much more that might be added, which means that should we really spend 2 weeks trying to build a demo of the app for an app that might change? Like, let's say that they don't approve it, they don't think that it's different enough. So we change more things, but then we have to change the demo again. So it's like everything that we do, we sort of have to like duplicate the work almost. I don't know how to solve this. The easiest way, and I think the way that we're going to go with for the first like resupply or resubmit to the App Store, the first thing that we're going to try is I'm going to just record a demo of the app myself and link it in the review notes, and then explain what the app is. And then we're going to add fake users on the other end. They won't have voice, but at least the user himself or the tester can try it out with his voice. I'm going to actually try just to see if I create an account here. All right. Okay, so I can actually, this is what I wanted to test. I just wanted to see if I can see my own voice. I don't know, whatever you call the voice animation there. And I can. So that's good. But for some reason, there's something that breaks. I don't understand it. So we're gonna have to copy some of this. And we're gonna see if Mr. Claude knows what's going on. Okay, I believe we've fixed that now, at least. What is the next step? I guess the next step is going to be to create some fake users and make sure that they're ready. So we're going to run this app again. If I do that, and then I quit. What we want to see, what I want to see is, does the user remain in the waiting list? Okay, it seems like they do. But for how long? So I'm going to remove a call restriction. And then we're going to try okay, so I do get connected to this user still, which is a good thing because that means that we might be able to create several users that can just sit in the wait list for the app reviewer. But what we do need to make sure that we do is build the release thing so that we can, because now we've updated one thing at least, we need to send that to the review, because leaving a phone call is important and that needs to be possible. Okay, I think that's going to be it for today, and we're going to have to come back in the next video. But now we've at least dealt with one of the bugs that I knew kind of existed. And we are uploading the new version of that to the App Store. The next step is going to be to create like fake profiles that we can have in the waiting list and just test that the phone call, we need to test that too, so that we make sure that they actually do remain in the queue, because I'm not sure if I have some sort of cleanup set up on the back end that cleans the waiting queue. I might have that. If I don't, I kind of need it, but yeah, we need to have fake profiles there so that we can, so that the tester then can kind of test the app properly. I don't know if that's fair, like if I can tell them that I have created fake profiles just for you so that you can test this. I don't know if that's something that's like considered, like you're not allowed to do that. I don't really know. But I think it's a good idea to do it just to test. And then I also need to create the video for it. The video I might actually create today. Yeah, I might do the video today just because I think I can. Because we have two profiles here and we can just change this one to be a, because I think I changed it to be a, he's looking for man and it's a woman. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I think I can actually test it out today. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that because we need to have a proper explanation of the app for them so that they know like this is what the app is going to be. Because if they don't know that, then obviously it's going to be hard for them to figure out what it's about, and it's going to seem like it's basically another Tinder, which I don't think it is, but I'm the one who came up with the idea, so maybe I'm like caught up in my own views of like, this is so unique. Not that I think that it's so crazy unique, but I do think that it's way different from Tinder or any of the other dating apps that I know of. But yeah, that's the plan. Thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.